Hey guys, welcome back to a new video. Today we're going to talk about irrational numbers and sets slash radicals. I'm going to show you guys a proof next video on how we can prove that square root of 2, the irrational numbers, is actually irrational. But anyways, in this video I'm just going to be showing you guys how to know which one is irrational numbers and simplifying them. Simplifies rational or sets. Radicals and sets. So anyways, let's start with square root of 2. We can't simplify square root of 2, and we can't show it as a fraction. So it's an irrational number. But this is not an irrational number, because we can simplify this into 10, and 10 is a normal number, and it can be also simplified like that. So yeah, this is not an irrational number. So an irrational numbers is just any number that can't be, shown as a fraction. So this is not an irrational number. This is not an irrational number, and this is not an irrational number. Okay, but this is an irrational number because you can't simplify it further, and you can't represent it as a fraction. Now that you have an irrational number, alright, how do you can actually do algebra on them, so you can simplify them and do algebra on them. So in this video I'm going to show you how you simplify them. So you have a square root of x. If you square it, you get x. Why? Because square root of x is basically just the reverse, reverse squared. So therefore, if you square it again, it will become the normal number. It makes sense. Oh yeah, and by the way, x is gonna have to be equals or less, more than 0 for these rules to be working. So square root of x times y equals to square root of x times y. Square root of x and then times square root of y. Square root of x over y equals to square root of x over square root of y. These are the rules right here you guys have to remember. There's another rule which you also have to remember, is square root of y, nth root of y equals to x. Then you can simplify this where y equals to x to the nth. Yeah, we're gonna go into some practical exercise you guys can do. So let's say you have a question like this: 75 over 9. How do you simplify it? Well, first we can use the rule. Square root of x over y equals to square root of x over square root of y, and we get this number, square root of 25 times 3. Oh yeah, and you also use this rule, x y equals square root of x times square root of y. So over square root of 9. And then you can simplify this. Square root of 9 simplifies equals to 3. 25 is 5, so 5, 3 over 3. Now, what if you have square root of 32? How do you simplify that? Well, square root of 32 is just going to be 16 times square root of 2. And square root of 16 is going to be 4 times square root of 2 and equals to 4 square root of 2. Now, how do you simplify 7 square root of 2? Well, it's square root, how do you make it into a set? How do you make this into a set? So, 7 square root of 2 is just going to be square root of 49 multiplied by square root of 2. So square root of 49 multiplied by square root of 2 is going to be square root of 98. One tip for this thing, that you have to remember all of the perfect squares. If you guys remember all of these perfect squares, then you should have no problem doing all of these stuff. So yeah, so perfect squares are really good. 36 and stuff. Yeah, all of these really good stuff. 25. Yeah, if you guys remember all of these perfect squares, you can do it really fast.